If you're tuning in later on, hello. If you're here right now, which you're not because it's only just started, say something, let me know you can hear me. Okay. So I thought I would come on and do a live and kind of explain what our programs are. So we make a lot of content and put a lot of stuff out there, but really it's where our programs are is where the structure comes in, that you know you're doing the right things and you're actually assessing yourself properly. So we have our level one area, which is, it includes our Where I Went Wrong ebook. So that's basically my story of how I started off with everything and the mistakes that I made and the rabbit holes that I went down of trying to fix myself and got nowhere and made things worse and just ended up spending an absolute fortune trying to fix myself and just made a ton of mistakes. And it also includes the best habits you can kind of take on whenever you're thinking about longevity and being able to move well. Those kind of things are all within that book. So it's a really good way to kind of get a good overview of everything and make sure that you're doing as much of the right stuff as possible and potentially avoiding a few things as well. So that's the Where I Went Wrong ebook. SMM is our main thing. So the simplistic mobility method, it is my life's work of how you are able to move and assess yourself left and right, know what imbalances you have, know where your weaknesses are. It is my absolute stuff that should be prioritized with anyone that has a body, okay? And it's if I could go back in time and slap myself on the head and say, don't look at another barbell or a weight until you've done this, that will be it. I had no idea how bad my right hip was. I had no idea how different my ankle mobility was on one side. My shoulders were completely different level of flexibility, and I just constantly got hurt and injured, and a lot of it was actually avoidable. I just didn't know any better at the time. So SMM is that thing that you want to get good at and you want to maintain and do for the rest of your life. I will never, ever, ever stop doing SMM, even when I'm 90. If I need to do it in a slightly easier way, that's fine. I will still keep doing it to any capacity I can because it's basically how your joints are all supposed to move left to right. So it helps you achieve some level of symmetry. You're always going to be slightly different side to side, but if those gaps get bigger and bigger, that's when things start twisting and turning and your spine starts getting loaded different ways and you start growing in extra bits of bone because you're twisting sideways when you're doing stuff. All kinds of crazy stuff happens. So the simplistic mobility method is basically, can you do this? Yes or no? Is it the same left and right? Yes or no? And here's how to fix it. So if you can't squat yet, if you can't touch your toes or straight legs yet, that's all the stuff you need there. Also, if you're hypermobile, if your balance isn't great, it shows you how to build all that up right from the grassroots, okay? So some people have actually bought it and says, this is too easy. They didn't watch the full exercise breakdowns, which explains how to do exercise properly, but they've went, this is too easy. And it's like, well, yeah, it's a beginner's program. It is genuinely for beginners. I struggled with the most of it. Whenever I first started learning all this stuff, I couldn't do the half of it. And there was big differences with me left to right as well. I am to this day one of the worst people I've ever had to work with. I don't know what happened to me when I was growing up. So it is all of the stuff in there that is the most important prioritized stuff, okay? Level one still is ultimate core, and that teaches you how to think of spine health rather than just abs. So rather than just my abs, I want to have good looking abs. It's like, no, can your core actually be strong enough to support your spine in all ways, even with disc injuries, even with all kinds of pain issues, whatever. It teaches you how to think about strength and how your core is always working. Even right now, as you're sitting watching me, if your core was off, you just fall on the floor. So it's always working to some extent. You're a lot stronger than you think you are. So that's what Ultimate Core helps you with. And it shows you how to structure workouts so that you think about the 4 elements of core strength. So you want to make sure that you're really good, strong in an isometric way, really good rotational way, a really good anti-rotational way, and have really good reactive strength as well, which is your balance. So that's all the level 1 stuff. And it's great to go through that for your own knowledge, your own peace of mind, that you know that you're doing the right stuff. Okay, so that's all the level 1 stuff. I think I had a question there. I see questions here. What's the best rehab plan for shoulder impingement, please? That will be shoulder and posture fix. Oh, there's a sign there for that. So mainly I would say to a lot of people, I would always prefer, as a coaching perspective, I would always like you to have started with the simplistic mobility method first, because like I said, it's the absolute, you should not miss this stuff, priority stuff. But if your hips and your lower back are totally fine, you could get shoulder and posture fix by itself. The reason it's part of the level 2 stuff is it's because it's such a big course. Your shoulders are the most mobile joints of your body. They can do a lot of stuff. If there's something up with your neck, something up with your upper back, you can start to get issues with the shoulders. So shoulder posture fix breaks it down in that way that we address the upper back first, remove any restrictions, we take away any compensations for the neck, and then we get into the shoulder stuff from there. Then we start to add resistance bands and stuff as well. Big thing about the simplistic mobility method as well is there's no equipment needed. It teaches you how to move your body and create tension without needing equipment, because you don't need equipment for that stuff. You need to know how to anchor yourself into certain positions and move your joints like joints above and beyond all else. Then we want to start to add in resistance bands. That's where they come in. They come in the level 2 stuff, which is shoulder posture fix, which is a full upper body program. So any kind of text neck you've got going on, wing scapula, like kyphosis, all that kind of stuff is all addressed within that program. And it shows you how to build your shoulders up long term and even further as well. We start to take you through handstand work, and we start to take you through all kinds of animal movements and how to get stupid strong as well, I like to call it. And stupid strong to me is being stronger than you ever need to be, so it'd be unreasonable for you to have any issues, essentially. So that's always my goal with all of my training, is how can I make all of my joints so strong that there's not really a reason for pain to be there, because pain ultimately is a signal for change of something's not working the way it should do. You need to do something about that. So if I do the something about that, the pain's not needed, even if there is all structural breakdown, all of that kind of stuff. So I've got a bulge in my neck, I've got stenosis in my neck, I've got osteophytes in my neck, I've got early degeneration and probable impingement of the supraspinatus tendon in my shoulder as well. No pain whatsoever, totally fine. So it's so important that you're doing this stuff regularly so that your body feels strong enough to not give you pain. So shoulder posture fix, fully upper body stuff, really, really in-depth as well. So it'll take you a while to get through that course, but it is self-led and you mark as complete as you go, so you know exactly where you're at. But yeah, again, coaching perspective, you'll break my heart if you go straight to shoulder posture fix. I always love people who have done the simplistic mobility method first, because like I said, you got to get on top of that stuff. I'm not, like, the best injury is the one that didn't happen because you were already doing the good work. You know what I mean? So we always leave it so long that we don't want to fix something until we're actually in pain or we've busted something. It's like, right, fine, I'll do the work now. Whereas it's so much easier if you do it first. Like, I promise you, it is so much easier to not need to rehab an injury if you just fix how the joint moves first. You get away with a lot more stuff. I learned a lot from my martial arts days, actually, because we did a lot of ankle roll stuff and like walking, silly walks and things, like, you know, walking on your ankles like this and all this here kind of stuff, like deliberately putting yourself into weird positions. And then one time I really did fall out of the back step of my garden and really badly rolled my ankle. And it was just a little bit sore for a couple of days. Whereas I know if I hadn't been doing that stuff, it would have been a bad one. So shoulder posture fix, full upper body. Stability builder is a full body program. So ideally, when you get through SMM and you feel really good with the simplistic mobility method, you can do all the movements really well, left to right, and you can do the main follow along to the full variations of each movement, then you could start to add in stability builder as well. So it takes those ideas even further, starts to load them up. But instead of just jumping to, oh, I'll lift weights now, we start to increase complexity. So we start to work on movements that are more challenging and more coordinated. We add a little bit of weight to them, and we also use resistance bands and stability builder as well. So you can still do it from home. You would just need some, like, you can even just use a water bottle for a lot of the exercises. So like starting to do lunges and stuff with a weight over your head, all of that there stuff is in there, and it starts to improve your hip stability. And there's a lot of leg work in it as well. For anyone that's ever had back pain or disc injuries, anything like that, having strong legs is your absolute must. So that can help you with so much stuff. So stability builder really starts to help you with your core strength and your leg strength to a much higher level. So it's really, you're really thinking there, you've gone from beginner to intermediate with the level 2 stuff. So where's it going with stability builder? Oh yeah, so there's a bunch of separate workouts in it essentially, and you would aim to do 2 per week, and in a month period, that means you've basically covered everything head to toe. So there's even a workout for the feet in the stability builder as well, and there's coordination and plyo, which works on your ability to actually absorb impact as well. So it's something that gets missed just so easily with people that just do general gym training that don't maybe run or jump and things like that. You might accidentally not jump for a long time, and then your body can get super weak and super sensitive to that, and then you can get to a stage where like walking starts to hurt you. So it's really important to add that stuff in. And if you are someone who enjoys running, it's really good to add in those specific drills to look after your feet and your ankles and your knees as well, so you can keep doing the things that you love, because that ultimately is our big goal. We want to give you the right tools to assess yourself and know you're doing good work. And we also want to give you the right strength and stability so that you can keep doing the things that you love, whatever that is. So for a lot of people with us, they would kind of stop at the level 2 and be like, right, I've got the stuff I need, and I can bike, swim, run, do martial arts, do urban ironboarding, to play tennis, play basketball, do the stuff that they actually enjoy. That's our mobility concepts are all within level 1, level 2, so you can stop there and you can just use it as an assistance work to try other things. That's ultimately what I've done with my whole training. So like I've been doing pro wrestling there for a while for a bit of fun, a lot of fun actually. And like I said, all this mobility stuff and strength stuff and all that work is there to give me a body that can cope with doing fun stuff essentially. So level 3, that is in-range training. That is how I would do my own general training. So ideally, again, it's a level 3. So you want to have SMM nailed. You would want to then be really good and competent with stability builder workouts, and then you'd be ready to actually progressively load and add these things into your overall training. So that's where I start to use the likes of the dumbbell shoulder rotation. I combine it with other movements and things as well. I would do heavy loaded movements with explosive movements too. So the likes of deadlifts with jumping, handstand push-ups, things like that will come in. The rings come into play in range training as well, how to use the rings. They're so good for upper body training and really good for the elbows as well. So that's in-range training. So that's essentially how I like to train. I love to progressively load and build things up or add reps. In-range training teaches you how to do that, but you do need equipment for it. Whereas the first level 1, level 2, you could get away with doing them at home. The level 2 stuff, you would just need a resistance band and some kind of a weight to hold, essentially. But yeah, if you're going to do in-range training, you need to have dumbbells, especially. Kettlebells would be ideal as well. Rings, pull-up bar, a box to stand on and jump on as well, and a barbell would be ideal for in-range training if you were going to go for that. But again, if you enjoy doing other types of training, level 1, level 2 will completely keep you all together there essentially. So you're not having to sift through thousands of YouTube videos to figure out what you need. It's just all there for you, especially if you're doing the 2 SMM per week and the 2 stability builder per week. You're covering everything. You're even doing your foot exercises. You just cycle through those workouts. So yeah, really, really effective stuff. So that's why the programs exist. I'm a very I want to know why I'm doing the thing I'm doing, and I want to know how it works, and I need to know that it actually works for other people as well before I'll actually commit any time to it. So that's what I've done with the programs. It's like, right, what's the best effective stuff that's worked for the most majority of people, and here's how to structure it in that way. So that's essentially what the programs are. I've seen a couple of questions pop up again there. So I'm doing the shoulder program now, almost done. It's very good. Awesome, awesome to hear. So shoulder impingement, yeah, shoulder posture fix. Hello, hello. Train every day and love. Is that love dogs? Is that it? Oh, that's amazing. JP would love that. Oh, you can't stay for a live stream. It'll be posted up later on. Tom's a real thing. Oh, thank you so much. Please hit the like button. That helps the channel. It does help the channel hitting the like button, actually. Yeah, I always forget to say things like that. Subscribe and like and, all that there jazz. Although I feel kind of funny with this one here because it's like, here's our programs. We always love to just give out information, but there's been so many emails recently of like, which one should I get and stuff. So I thought if I had a video explaining them, that'd be good. Although Jenny's probably going to shout at me and want me to condense this down, but I thought I would just do it on the fly. Is SMM good to reverse working at a desk? Absolutely, it is. SMM helps to open everything up as it should do, and it also removes any of those things. So one of the issues if you work at a desk all the time is your upper back just starts to want to do this. The head starts to want to travel forwards because it's a nice position to relax in, and this is fine as long as you can also do the flip side of that. You can fully extend, you can actually tuck the chin back, and you can get into these nice big open up positions essentially. So SMM helps to reverse all of that by using thoracic rotational exercises. We open up the lats and we open up the spine in all the ways it's meant to move as well. And it also works on a really, really nice exercise that helps to pull and open everything up like this. So this is the elbow withdrawal position. If you've ever done martial arts, done Wing Chun, it's essentially from that. And a lot of martial arts stuff, the traditional sides of things is actually to reverse the fighting elements of things and to restore your body essentially. So a lot of stuff I actually use is from traditional martial arts, elbow withdrawal position being one of them. When I first seen this exercise, I looked like this when I did it. If I pulled my shoulders back, that's what it looked like. And that would fail you in your grading. So it took me a while to actually start to get that my shoulders opened up enough that I could get to this position. So you couldn't see any of that. So you want to be able to get the arms parallel up like that with the ground and not be also shrugging up like this into the shoulder, okay? You'll be able to retract back like that, and this is flat and open and not rolled up like that, okay? So really, really good position to work on. And that is one of the things that helps to reset your desk posture, essentially. We also combine it with another exercise in SMM to work on your multitasking skills too, which is very important, because if you can't keep your bits where your bits are supposed to be whenever you're doing bits, that's a problem. You gotta learn how to move well, but be under good control, so you're not essentially trying to do exercises where like this, oh, so tense. So it's another benefit of SMM as well. So yes, in the short, SMM helps with desk posture. If you're working at a desk, it is great to counteract that. And 3 to 4 times a week initially when you're working on it is plenty to work on. You don't need to hammer yourself every day or stretch for 2 hours a day. It's about 40 minutes to do a session. And once you get good at it, you can, oh, my sound is super low. I wonder why. It is on mono. I think I've been having problems with this microphone. I'm gonna have to get a new microphone. So, I want to keep doing them. That's why I came to the program. Yeah, SMM, like I said, it's one of them things I will never ever stop doing, because it's like flossing your teeth, it's like flossing your joints. It's making sure everything is supposed to move the way it is, because you accidentally don't know that sometimes you don't move things. So if I ask you right now, when's the last time you fully turned your head as far as it goes left, as far as it goes right, as far as it goes up, as far as it goes down, and as far as it goes to the side, and as far as it goes to the side? When's the last time you did that? Like, you don't know. And we're doing that with our hips. We're doing it with our wrists all the time. Like, when's the last time you stretched your wrists through flexion and you stretched your wrists through extension? Like, done both in any capacity? Like, when's the last time you did that? If that goes on for years, it's like, hey, do this for me, flex your wrist. You're like, ugh. And it's like, I put a bit of pressure on that, and you're like, oh, it's really uncomfortable, it's really sore. And it's like, well, why have you got elbow pain? Because you haven't lengthened the tissue here for years. Years, I tell you, years. I'm getting into my weird rambly time now. It's over the 15 minutes. This is where the rambles kick in. So hips as well, if you're not moving your hips fully and regularly, you start to essentially want to waddle side to side, and the muscles don't feel like they're working properly. And a lot of people think that they've got like weak glutes or gluteal amnesia, and you get knee pain, hip pain, back pain, all of these things. It's because you're not moving the hip joint itself fully through all of its ranges. And if you can't extend your hip properly, if you can't bring your leg back like this, what happens is then in order to walk, you're like extending your lower back instead, because you're shut down here. So what have you got to do? You got to extend your lower back more. And then that's when you end up having a duck bum like that, because you can't open up the hips fully. It's so important that you're doing those things and combining them with strength exercises as well. So it's one of the big issues as well. You don't want to just accidentally start stretching all of the time without doing the strengthening stuff, because then you're going to end up with just strengthening dysfunction. Essentially, you're not able to get to the full range of motion anyway, so you're just strengthening to stay there. So there's just no point, essentially. And there's also the flip side of that is there's no point just doing the strength stuff without the opening up stuff, because if you're not able to get in the range of motion, what are you strengthening? That's it's so important to do both, essentially, and that's flowing and flexible. That's what flowing and flexible is. It's strong and flexible. It's not one or the other. It is both combined. You want to have a good combination of both, and then you can do whatever it is you want to do. So if you want to just lift, just train normally, absolutely fine. If you wanted to go and do the splits or do fancy back bend stuff like that, that's okay. You've got a good level of both to actually grow from, so you can go to either way. Whereas if you just try and jump in without a good foundation in either way and just lift or just do the stretching stuff, you're going to end up missing stuff. And if your joints don't feel happy, then you end up with unexplained pain. You end up spending a fortune on treatments as well, and you just end up getting frustrated too. So always think about that. It's like, right, okay, does my body move like a body first? Okay, now I can go and have fun. That's my ultimate goal. I want people to have a wiggle so they can go and have fun. To break it all the way down to the simplicity elements of things, it's like, I want you to have a wiggle so you can go and have fun and do whatever you want to do. I want you to essentially not need me. I want you to watch my videos and be like, that's easy. And I'm like, great, keep that, never lose that. That's essentially what we want with everything. So, love your stuff. Keep going. Thank you so much. Good, because I train heavy daily. If you're mixing up the training that you're doing, like if you're training heavy but it's in different ranges, you're doing deadlift one day, squat another day, you're doing heavy press one day, you're doing bench another day, and you're balancing it out well throughout the week, you can absolutely do that. It's one of those things that it will be a crossover. You get so strong to a certain point where it just completely drains your body so much that you would need to rest. in between sessions, or say you plateaued with your weights if you're just trying to progressively load all the time, you'd want to kind of change things up so you pushed yourself even harder in your sessions, that you did need to have a day off the next day. So it's something I really just enjoy to do with legs, just that, you've really busted your legs and you're walking silly for a couple of days. I really enjoy that. It just makes me feel a lot stronger. It makes me feel like I can cope with a lot more. And then, yeah, on the other days I would do legs. I wouldn't do as much volume, but I'd do a lot more variance. So I would combine Cossacks with multi-directional lunges, deep split squats with weight, and step ups and jumps and things like that as well. And then on other days, I would say just squat heavy, and that would be my thing, or Olympic lift as well. Still like a little bit of Olympic lifts. How did I fix my sciatica? By fixing my hips, essentially. So sciatica, if you have disc bulges or you've irritated the sciatic nerve, you need to make sure you're moving your hip joint from all angles. And that's a big thing that people miss. They end up just doing like the pigeon stretch or the figure 4 stretch for it to try and relax it. You got to make sure that you're also doing the internal rotation of your hips. That's why I love the 90-90 position. But you've got to also make sure that you're taking that pressure away from the front of the hip. And that's why the couch stretch is so important. So essentially all of the movements in SMM is what helps with sciatica, because nothing's being left out, and also working on your abduction and your adductor strength too. Some people can just get sciatic symptoms or just be labeled with like performance syndrome because they've got weakness in the hip. So if you don't have, say, strong adductors, for example, that can be a cause for your hip to feel like it's just not strong enough. And if you've got a weakness in the inside of the hip, your body can decide, oh, it's tight here, so let's give pain here when they do that because we don't want that stretched. And it makes no sense. And it's like, why are you choosing to do this stuff? So you're like, it hurts here, I need an exercise for here. And you just start digging a ball into there, or you start doing clamshells and stuff when you really want to be opening and strengthening here. So like, it just, everything's connected. And that's the thing that I've found by making sure I cover all the 6 hip functions with people and making sure they're good to equal levels. Then I don't end up having to hammer them with like 3 things, like do hundreds of clamshells, do hundreds of R's in the pigeon stretch, do hundreds of just one or two of the hip functions. Okay, you got flexion, extension, internal rotation, external rotation, abduction, and adduction. You got to make sure you're doing all 6. If you're accidentally only doing a couple of them, some people do like 4 out of 6. It's like, oh well, you've missed 2 out of 6 things. Of course, it's like, imagine. So I only came up with this analogy recently. Imagine you had all of the dishes and all the dishes were dirty, right? And you're going to load the dishwasher, and you're going to do, right, okay, cutlery. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. You just throw all the cutlery in the dishwasher, close the door, wait for an hour, open the door, take all the cutlery out, and you're like, why are all these bowls and cups still dirty? What's going on? Okay, right. Forks and knives, let's spread them out a little bit, make them even. Forks and knives, we'll put the spoons far away from the forks and knives and close the thing, and let's go. And open up again and say, oh, why are all these cups and bowls still dirty? Right, okay, forks and knives. Okay, we'll just do the forks. We'll do loads of the forks, right, close, right, okay. And then open up again and say, why are these cups and bowls still dirty? It's like you haven't put the cups and bowls in. So that's kind of the way I look at some people whenever they're doing the programming for mobility and stuff. It's like, you haven't worked on adduction or internal rotation for about 20 years. It's like, this is what we missed. And I get really excited about that. If I find something that someone struggles with, I'm like, yay. It's like Christmas for me, because that's the thing you're probably going to get the most from, because you just haven't been moving a joint like a joint. And that's the biggest secret to everything. You move your joints like joints, they're a lot happier. So yeah, always think of it in terms of that. Yeah, I think I like the dishwasher analogy. So from Stability Builder, how to know when I should move to the end range program. If you can do all of the Stability Builder sessions and super duper sets, you're able to do them to the full like tempo with us and not need to take any breaks, you'd be okay to then go into end range training. If you're able to do it with like 10 kilo weight for most of the stuff, you'd be able to start with that. So end range training then goes into that you're starting to do like 5 sets of, rather than, you're just doing one workout the whole way through. So that's the way you'll start to go from there. So you can just start with that 10 kilo weight, do 5 sets of 10, and then you can start to progressively load to a 12 kilo weight, etc. So yeah, if you can do all of the Stability Builder workouts with us in real time, especially super duper sets, then you're good to go for end range. Does high leverage ball crushing help with mobility? I don't think so. So yeah, I'm going to, I think, go and get my dinner. There's 25 minutes. I have to stop at 25 minutes. I can't ramble all evening. But yeah, I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, you can always send us an email or leave a comment on this video. But yeah, that's our programs, level 1, 2, and 3. For me as a coach, I really love you, even if you feel you've been training for years or whatever, still start with the simplistic mobility method, because you miss stuff. Everybody misses stuff, and it's in how you do some exercises that's so important as well. So that's kind of our big focus is on that you're feeling the right stuff as well whenever you're doing certain movements, because things can look okay, but if you're not loading in the right way, you then end up doing the right stuff but not getting the benefits essentially as well. So yeah, hope you find this helpful. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you're all set for Christmas. Christmas is coming soon.